On this edition of Lexington Now, Lexington's snow plan, cold weather safety, and recycling your Christmas lights. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of January 10th, 2022. This past week highlighted the importance of a plan for keeping roads clear during winter weather events. Rob Allen joins us with a look at the city's snow plan.
So we maintain about 1,200 lane miles of road inside Fayette County. The state obviously does roads like New Circle and the interstates, but we prioritize those roads by amount of traffic and the facilities located there. For example, Nicholasville Road with two big hospitals, the university, thousands upon thousands of cars a day is a rank one. A neighborhood collector, for example, on Main Road would be through a neighborhood, but maybe only gets 1,000 cars a day. That would be a rank 4. And so we progress through our rankings, treating for snow and ice, and then we get into the neighborhoods and really try to take care of folks. We also have different service levels. Once we get 4 inches of snow, that kicks into a different service level where we actually treat more roads. We may or may not employ contractors to help us at that time. Then if we get over 8 inches of snow, it's all hands on deck. We're having to do things like clear handicap ramps and parking spaces, access to dumpsters for hospitals, schools, and restaurants and things like that. So it's a pretty well thought and extensive document. Folks can go to the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. You can type in snow plan on the search and it'll talk about that. It'll also talk about snow routes. You'll see the priority roads, all kinds of fun stuff. We add a sugar beet derivative to our salt as we're spreading it. What that does is it wets the salt grain and helps it stick to the road better. So we use less salt, which is then more environmentally friendly, and of course using less salt is a cost savings. But what that does, that wet material applied at the spinner when we're dispensing salt, keeps it from scattering so much and bouncing off the road. So we found that as a benefit. It's much better for the environment rather than, harsh synthetic chemicals. A lot of times folks ask us about salt brine, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's salt dissolved in water, but we apply it as a pre-treatment whenever we can. It lasts for up to 3 days on the road. And what it does is it keeps snow and ice from bonding to the pavement and forming that lock. That's the whole goal, was to keep that from happening. And it's very inexpensive, costs us less than 5 cents a gallon to make and put out. And folks will see a squiggly white line on the road. We use it, the state uses it. Ours a lot of times will be tinged pink or have a purplish hue, and that's because we're adding the sugar beet derivative to the salt brine. That allows the chemical to work at a little lower temperature and be a little speedier, a little more effective. And once again, it's sustainable, ecologically friendly. And whenever we can, we like to do it. Unfortunately, in Kentucky, our weather is so variable and usually starts out as rain, transitions over to freezing rain, and washes the product off. So we use it when we can, and otherwise we just do the best we can. And the big thing is folks need to understand it takes time for salt to work. It's not instantaneous, and we have to treat in a priority system. So while it's still snowing, we're still treating those main roads, and after it stops, then we work through our priorities and get to those neighborhood roads. So patience in driving or with our drivers is a priority.
Snow and ice aren't the only dangers winter brings. Cold weather has its own set of threats: hypothermia and frostbite. Here's how to stay safe when the temperatures drop. Like it or not, winter is upon us, and it often brings hazards like snow and ice. But there is another danger that is not as frequently addressed, and that is the cold. During especially cold weather, it is best to stay indoors, but if you must venture out, here are some guidelines you should follow to stay safe. Dress warmly in layered clothing, including a hat, a scarf, or knit mask to cover your face and mouth, sleeves that are snug at the wrist, mittens, a water-resistant coat, and water-resistant boots. Avoid exertion, as cold weather puts an extra strain on the heart. Those with heart disease or high blood pressure should follow their doctor's advice about shoveling snow or performing other activities in the cold. When outside, avoid walking on ice, and keep your steps and walkways as free of snow and ice as possible. Be on the lookout for signs of hypothermia and frostbite, two common cold weather-related health problems. Warning signs of hypothermia, which is an abnormally low body temperature, include shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech, and drowsiness. If you detect symptoms of hypothermia, seek medical care immediately. Get the victim into a warm room and remove any wet clothing. Warm the center of the body first with an electric blanket if available. Otherwise, use skin-to-skin contact under loose, dry layers of blankets, clothes, towels, or sheets. Warm beverages can help increase the body temperature, but do not use alcoholic beverages. Warning signs of frostbite or an injury to the body caused by freezing include redness or pain in any skin area, white or grayish-yellow skin, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, and numbness. If you detect symptoms of frostbite, seek medical care immediately. Get the victim into a warm room and immerse the affected area in warm, not hot, water. Do not rub the frostbitten area with snow or massage it, as this can cause more damage. Do not use a heating pad, heat lamp, or the heat of a stove, fireplace, or radiator for warming, as the frostbitten areas are numb and can be easily burned. These procedures are not substitutes for medical care, and all emergencies should be reported to a physician or healthcare provider. If you follow these simple rules and exercise caution, you can weather the worst winter has to offer and come out healthy on the other side when the warm breezes of spring start to blow. Recycling old Christmas lights after the break. Welcome back to Lexington Now. The holiday season is behind us, and soon it's going to be time to put those Christmas lights away. But what about the lights that don't work? Tori Summy tells us there's a better way than throwing them in the trash.
So this year, the city's hosting its 4th annual light collection event. There are 15 locations throughout the city of Lexington where residents can go to drop off their unwanted or broken holiday lights. All of those locations can be found at lexingtonky.gov/lights, or residents can also bring those lights directly to the e-waste collection center at 1306 Versailles Road. The holiday light collection is just a way for us to encourage residents to properly recycle their holiday lights, and so that those lights don't end up in our landfill or at our recycling center where they can cause damages to equipment, they can injure workers, or even cause delays if they get stuck in there. So they can bring anything from holiday lights like rope lights or string lights to the sensors that they use for those lights, extension cords, small electronic candles, or really any small electronic that we wouldn't want to end up at the recycling center. They could instead drop off at one of our 15 locations for this holiday light collection drive. We don't want to accept any large electronics. That's better just brought to the electronics recycling center. But mostly all of the holiday lights that you might hang up that you no longer want, you can bring to one of our collection sites. So this actually started from one of our staff members at a conference wanting to come up with a better way to encourage residents to recycle properly. We've had too many of our holiday lights and things that got tossed out that were supposed to go to the electronics recycling center end up at our actual regular recycling center, and it takes time to clear those out, and sometimes it can even cause delays or damage to equipment. So this is a way that we all can win by partnering with businesses and also allowing residents to find a place close to them while they're out shopping to then recycle their lights properly and for us to get them where they need to go. So this holiday light collection drive started in 2018. Each year we've collected more lights than the last, and we have a total running number of 5,120 pounds of holiday lights that have been collected through this program over the past 3 years. We're hoping to collect even more this year because every pound of lights that's collected through this program doesn't end up in our landfills or at our recycling center where it can cause damages. So we are very excited for our residents to participate in this program. We know how important it is to recycle properly, and we're excited to be able to do it all together to help make Lexington a great place for everyone.
The pandemic has brought with it an unprecedented rise in the adoption of animals, but it has also caused a rise in the darker side of pet adoption: discarded animals. Here's how to help.
I am Sergeant Erin Evans, the Community Enforcement Sergeant for Fayette County. So I actually handle a lot of different things, specialty things. The city license program, the rabies clinic that we do with the health department each year. Also run calls to service. And then of course also a little bit of training, covering different departments when we're shorthanded, stuff like that. So jack of all trades. The term that they've actually, that's caught on right now is discarding of animals, which is truly what it is, you know. It's sad all the way around. It doesn't have to be that way. Basically, we do have a front end office for animal control, and it does have certain hours, noon to 6, Monday to Saturday. So before and after those hours and all throughout the night, we do have an after-hour kennel where anybody in Fayette County that picks up a stray pet in our county can bring the pet here if they're not able to hang on to it. We understand that's not always something a person can do. So there is a phone number posted on our door for individuals to call before and after our actual hours of operation, and the officer on the other end will instruct them how to put the pet in the after hours kennel. And then first person in the morning goes ahead and processes and make sure the pet is set up so they can wait their stray hold time. Anybody that finds a stray pet, we're here just for that reason. This is the safe place. We're the designated shelter for Fayette County. So this is where they'll do their stray hold time while we vigorously look for their owner. If somebody is actually surrendering a pet, it is a little bit different of a scenario, just because pets in the state of Kentucky are actually considered property. So there's a little bit more paperwork involved. And of course, obviously, there is a fee to surrender. And that's something that our front end office will walk a person through and instruct them on. That's why we typically want to do that during normal business hours. So, and you know, we understand that people's circumstances doesn't always allow them to pay that fee. But that's something that we can work with somebody on. But we have to be able to talk with you and communicate to be able to do what it is that you need. So. We don't know what type of situation the pet is in. If it's already sick or injured and then it's left, you know, and unfortunately we're on a very, very busy street as well. Something does get loose, they're not familiar with their surroundings or area, and they could potentially get hit, you know, die throughout the night. We do have an on-call officer that's in and out throughout the night, depending upon our call volumes and stuff like that. So it's not always something that we can attend to right away. And the safest thing for the pet is to call and let us know you're here to drop it off. So We have seen an uptick. Typically, I think what I was advised is approximately maybe 2 to 3 pets every couple months, but now here lately it's been monthly occurrence. So I guess honestly it's hard to pinpoint, because like I said, it's always happened, unfortunately. But I think, the financial circumstances that people are going through now, whether it be job losses due to COVID and things of that nature, has really negatively impacted everybody, right down to the pet, The thing is, the pets can't help the circumstance. So we want to be here. We want to be able to serve our community in that way, to take in your pet when, circumstances don't allow you to. There's actually a state law, and we do have a local ordinance here in Fayette County when it comes to abandoning animals. It's not something that we want to do. We just want to have individuals that are looking at this and seeing the story, wake up, because it is a chargeable offense. But ultimately, we just want to make sure that the pets are safe that are being brought to us. So our website does have instructions. Where you want to start is by giving a phone call to our front end office. The number and extension is actually clear on our website. A lot of times you do have to leave a message. All messages are checked that day. We don't want to leave any animal forgotten. So that's where the process starts. There are a couple of questions that we have to go through and make sure all our ducks in a row. And then we do certain days for different types of pets. So dogs are on certain days and cats are on certain days, just to keep all the pets comfortable, because it's a stressful environment to begin with. So, but yeah, that's where it starts, talking with our front end office and getting that worked out. All pets that do come in that are either surrendered or not reclaimed by their owner, they do go through a health and temperament evaluation. Obviously, they're spayed and neutered. That's very key for overpopulation. But yeah, and then once that's completed and they're completely vetted and microchipped, they're sent to the Lexington Humane Society, our partner organization, and they do all adoptions. Fantastic job with adoptions. They do a spectacular job. We, as animal control, wouldn't be able to function, without the Lexington Humane Society, and vice versa, So it's we're two separate entities, but we're definitely partner organizations that are here for the animals.
We're back to business at City Hall this week, so we've got a busy meeting schedule we're bringing your way. And remember, the most accurate, up-to-date information is available for all city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's a list of this week's televised meetings. We continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing, vaccination, and booster sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our home page. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.